Gather around, y'all people, let me tell you all a story of something I once loved when I was a child. It's a series of books that features a bunch of little feline creatures, and they live out there in the great old English wild. And it's all about cats, and they hunt and fight and spat, and they don't know words for things like people and cars. Now Jaron, Mitchell, and Toasty, your creators and co-hosties, are gonna tell you all about it, and then we can all be stars. They're gonna tell you all about it, and then we can all be stars.
What up, dirt heads? Welcome back to another excellent recording, another excellent, bodacious episode of Stars in the Making, the Warriors podcast. This week, discussing my favorite Warriors book, little known entry into the series, co-written by many different Aaron Henters, Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure, the movie.
Bill Foot and Ted Pelt's excellent Warriors mission.
Excellent Warriors mission. I love the way in which they have to make tough choices about what's right and when to listen to their leader, Rufus Starr, and when not to.
Hello, everybody.
Hi, guys.
Hi.
How are you two doing?
I'm doing great.
I'm okay.
That's great. My name is Mitchell Crispi, they, them.
I'm Jaron D Ratman, he, him.
And I'm Toasty Valentine, he, him.
And this week we're bringing to you another entry into my favorite B-side, watching movies that one of us likes and the other two have to watch. It's like a way higher stakes version of that thing everybody does when you're trying to show a friend of yours something that you want them to like. And you're like, please like it, please like it, please like it, please like it. Because if we don't like it, then the episode's really awkward. So
yeah,
it's,
then I'll be very sad.
But don't worry, Jaron. I loved Bill and Ted's Excellent
So,
Adventure.
for
This week-
context, in the last movie review, we did Mitchell's favorite movie, Fantastic Mr. Fox. And so for this one, we were like, let's do either my favorite movie or Toasty's favorite movie.
And then you just decided that we're doing your favorite movie.
For Thanksgiving, because this is the first Thanksgiving I'm spending alone, not seeing my family, I decided to make myself a delicious steak and asparagus and watch my favorite movie, Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. So then I sent a message in the Discord that was like, how about we just talk about Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure? Because I'm watching it anyway.
And honestly, that's a great reason to do something. I love
a great way to make a decision.
It's okay, Toasty. We'll get to your favorite movie.
In about 4 years?
Yeah.
In about 4 years.
Saving Private Ryan.
In about 12 moons.
I'm not sure what your favorite movie is yet, but I can't wait to learn. But the point is, we all watched Jaron's favorite movie, Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure, which I think, has a lot of quality veins to mine in relation to Warrior Cats. I think it fits into our podcast better than somebody might expect.
Better than I might expect. This is very interesting.
If you two don't see all the connections that I see, then I pity you, because
This is just like the part where Fireheart and Graystripe have to go back in time and bring the leaders of Lion Clan, Tiger Clan, and Leopard Clan to Thunder Clan in order to pass their history class.
Yeah. But instead of history class, it's not being killed by Shadow Clan, and instead of the leaders, it's just them and their friends, and instead of the time travel, it's actually just linear time. But besides that, it's all exactly the same. Yeah, so I had never seen this movie before, but I've seen lots of parts of it over time. It's a very culturally well-known movie. Have you ever seen it before, Toasty?
Nope.
We'll save general ratings. Should we save general ratings for the end?
I'd say so. I think that's what we did last time, where we kind of ended with, did you guys like the movie?
Yeah.
Or no, did we start with that? I don't remember.
I'm pretty sure we started with that.
I listened to that episode a month ago, and I don't remember.
Me too, when I edited it. Last time we did a movie episode, I think we started with, did you guys like the movie? That's too much pressure. I think that we're gonna leave that type of designation to the end, and for now, we'll just start talking about it. The first thing that I want to say and get it out of the way is Keanu Reeves is so hot.
Yeah, he's very pretty.
How does he do it? Very pretty man.
It's so weird with like the internet icon Keanu Reeves became in like the past half a decade, that the modern image of him is so burned into my psyche that even watching this movie that I've seen 100 times, when I see him, I'm like, oh, that's Keanu Reeves. He's so young.
Yeah.
The outfits in this movie were incredible.
Yeah,
I loved both of their outfits so much, and I wish people would dress like that more often. Men need to get sluttier, is all I'm saying.
I need to start dressing like that.
Men need to tie bright orange denim jackets around their waists more often.
They do.
Men need to wear
are so
a shirt
uninteresting right now.
and a jacket and a second jacket tied around their waist.
And a leather vest.
And a crop top. Put on a crop top.
But none of it's gay. Very important. Because it is
None
the
of it's
90s.
gay.
None of it's gay. That is my favorite joke from the entire movie. As a queer person, I say they get the pass. There's a point in the movie where they're talking to each other.
I don't know if they get the pass, man. I don't know if I agree. Also, queer person here, I don't agree.
I laughed out loud. I wasn't even mad. I thought it was hilarious.
I had to go back and put on captions to make sure I didn't miss what they said.
I laughed like that like nervous straight person laugh when you watch something old and it has a slur in it, and I'm like, they probably shouldn't say that.
No, yeah, they probably definitely shouldn't, but it's so wildly out of place. They're just talking to each other. They're obviously very close friends. They're excited that neither of them died in a situation where they might have died in a medieval castle, and they give each other a hug. They pull back. They both call each other the F slur really quick, and then they go back to talking normally. It's
Can
incredible.
I be honest? I'll give them the pass because it just seems out of character for them. Like
It seems like
I don't feel like that's something they would say.
But they're also like high schoolers in like the 80s or 90s. So
Yeah.
it feels like satire because of how over the top it is. The way that both of their characters being portrayed as kind of wholesome himbo dum-dums. Less on the himbo side because they aren't so strong, but these wholesome dum-dums are so happy all the time, and then there's just one moment where they just go full 90s homophobia. I honestly found it a little bit charming. But maybe it's just because I'm in love with Keanu Reeves.
should we give like a general plot outline for this movie where nothing really happens?
That's so true. I did find myself thinking throughout the entire thing, there's no stakes.
Like,
and
why are we doing all this? This movie follows these two high schoolers, Bill and Ted, that are they want to start a rock band. They don't really care about school, but they have to pass a history report or else they'll get held back, and Ted will get sent to military school by his cop dad.
Boo, cop dad.
They do not know this at the time, but the entirety of human civilization hinges on them passing this history course. Because if they're split up, then their band Wild Stallions will never form, and the cultural repercussions of that would be disastrous. So there's like a secret society of Wild Stallion fans in the future that send a representative, Rufus, back in time to help these two dickheads pass their class. And they use this phone booth time machine to go back in time and kidnap historical figures to perform in their history report.
Perform unsanctioned in their history report.
Not
one
what
of my
the
favorite
report's supposed to be, by the way. The report's supposed to be like an essay of like what historical figures would think of the modern day San Dimas, just the town they live in.
Yeah, ostensibly it's supposed to prove their own knowledge, not that they can hire an actor. Yeah. But it's, I mean, it is definitely shows a commitment to production. If I was that history teacher at the end of this movie, I definitely would have stepped them aside and told them that they should have been in theater or drama, because they can put together a production very well.
Well, they are going to be rock stars. So
they are going to be rock stars.
The future is bright for Wild Stallions.
First of all, George Carlin as Rufus, perfectly cast. He does a great job. He changes basically nothing about the way that he acts in other media that he's in, but the personality just fits perfectly of being cool, confident, a little understated and not seeming to care all that much. It was fantastic. I love seeing George Carlin and stuff. And my other favorite thing from the get-go about this film is that the future that Rufus comes from, that worships wild stallions, seems incomprehensible.
It really is.
I have no idea why it's great, what's going on in the future, except that people can float. They love wild stallions. They worship Bill and Ted like almost like godlike figures. But other than that, I can't tell you anything about why it's great.
Yeah, there's one scene where they end up going to the future and they get out of the time machine and there's these like floating people that just like in hushed voices are like, it's them. What will they say? What are they going to do? But it's just this chrome room with nothing else in it. With like video projections or something.
Yeah,
and just these people, like a council of people waiting for Bill and Ted to speak. It's incredibly like absurd and weird, and that scene is so funny.
It's very fun. It's like 5 minutes. It goes on for way longer than I thought it was gonna.
Yeah, it's really awkward.
Them just like quietly looking around.
They're just like, dude, what should we say? I don't know. Quote some lyrics.
And then he said quotes some lyrics and then he makes something up instead. That's so good. So this is a very funny movie. I find this type of humor very engaging personally. I think some people probably would find it a little dry, but I love dry humor, which is something that I talked about with Fantastic Mr. Fox.
Mm-hmm.
I love when it's not clear whether I'm expected to laugh. I probably will because I'm a very easy laugh, but what type of comedy do you prefer, Toasty?
That's a good question. Like, I'm gonna be honest, I'm struggling with this episode because we're not starting off with our general opinions on it.
Well, we can transition into general opinions.
Jaron's gonna be so disappointed.
That's fine.
We're both gonna be so disappointed.
It's okay.
Jaron will just get you back by being super mean about your movie.
Yeah.
I'm not
Really
going to be
dig in.
mean. That's not what I said. I just said he's going to be disappointed.
Oh, yeah, but I'm going to be.
Yeah.
I thought it was fine. I didn't think it was good. I didn't think it was bad. I thought it was very almost nothing. As you said, not a whole lot happens. And so I'll be honest, I wasn't that impressed. I only laughed one whole time while watching this movie.
Well, that's very important. We gotta know what you laughed at.
It was when Socrates called Freud a geek. To me, that was the funniest bit in the whole movie.
Geek!
That's pretty good.
So, I didn't feel like there were that many jokes in it. So I didn't find it that funny.
That's
I'm sorry.
very
I'm so
funny
sorry.
stance to take because I thought there were so many jokes.
A
lot of them
there
are
were,
really
none.
dumb jokes.
I think the thing with this movie is that its entire conception is kind of the joke. And if that joke isn't funny to you, many of the jokes within it probably won't be.
Yeah.
Because I just find just the absurdity of this movie so funny. There's a scene near the beginning that it's one of these I talked about before we started recording, how over time my sense of humor has like fermented. It's just sat and it's rotted and it's gotten worse. Which makes this movie way, way better because all of the stupid little jokes in this movie hit me way harder. There's a bit near the beginning where they're sitting outside of the Circle K and they're just like asking random employees questions to help with their history test. And Ted asks this woman, like, who ruled China during whatever dynasty? And she's like, I don't know, man. And then he's like, oh, this sucks. Should we try a different mini mart? And that fucking killed me. It's like, not the library, not a tutor, not our dad's, just a different mini mart.
I think that you're very right about something, which is that if you aren't on board for watching an hour and a half of basically nothing of import happening, it's not going to be very entertaining to you. But I'm, as a big fan of movies, I've watched sometimes 4-hour long movies where basically nothing happens because there's a lot of long movies out there, both good and bad. I was really down for 90 minutes of whatever they wanted to throw at me. I came into it with a pretty good attitude because I've heard so much about it. A lot of my friends like it, and I've seen some of the biggest bits just on the internet scattered about, as one does when you are on the internet too much. But instead of being uninterested, I think, because not much happened, the entire movie I just kept I was enjoying it. I was in it. I was watching it, and then every 15 minutes, I'd just suddenly be zoomed out of myself, and I'd realize nothing's going on. Nothing's happening. There's no stakes. Not at one point during the movie did I fear that they wouldn't pass their history test. Through a combination of reasons, the main one being that the future is what what the future already is, what the future is in the movie, and they give no weight to the necessity of being careful with time travel. Very early on, they set up that it's not going to matter at all because Bill and Ted talk to themselves from the past
That's
slash
such
future.
a great scene.
It's really funny. Because of that, I was able to kind of just let go and be okay, I'm just ready to see what they do, what absurd, silly things happen.
The joke is also just kind of the characters.
Yeah.
If you don't find, I find that specific style of character so funny because they are they're set up as these jackasses that aren't very smart, don't really know what's going on. But then the way they speak sometimes is so eloquent that
It's true.
There's in the bit where they talk to themselves from the past, Ted turns to Bill and says, "Strange things are afoot at the Circle K," which is such an insane thing. They use words like unprecedented and heinous and just words that I would not expect a person like that to know and use correctly. No one who is like that talks like that. And that's really funny to me.
I just felt like this movie could have been a 42-minute after-school special, and it would have just about the same.
Honestly, that's probably true.
I just felt like it went on a little too long, because my favorite bit was the end where they're, breaking out all of the historical figures, because they do so much, time shenanigans.
A
bunch of stuff is happening, and so I really enjoyed that bit. But most of the rest of it, I'm nothing's happening.
There's a handful of very funny scenes while they're time traveling. There's the dust in the wind quote to Socrates. That's hilarious. Yeah. There's with the thing of there not really being any stakes. There are several situations where it seems like they're in danger, but because they are the people they are, that danger is not communicated. So the first time they go back in time, they run into Billy the Kid in this old-timey Western bar. And a huge bar fight breaks out, and people are getting beat up and shot, and they're just sitting there like they're at a movie, just watching the whole thing with wide eyes and open mouths, and it's really, really funny to me.
I think that's great too. I love the freedom that is given to you by their characterization as not really understanding or quite caring about the danger, and knowing that we just saw them from the future talking to themselves, which means they're gonna survive this because they haven't done that yet. They're not gonna die because they have to do that part first. That did happen, and just like that Billy the Kid scene, they also go back to medieval times to try and court some princesses. They don't even get somebody from medieval times. They just go see some
hit on
princesses
medieval
and then run
princesses.
away. But they're heads are on the chopping block, and they just turn to each other and very calmly are it looks like our excellent adventure is coming to an end.
Our adventure is taking a most unfortunate turn.
Serious turn or something. And it's just so, to me, that's fun because sometimes I want to watch a movie where I don't have to really care about anything. I can just sit and eat my popcorn and enjoy. But even more so than that, what really kept me going through a lot of it is that I think that the moment-to-moment tiny little jokes that you were mentioning, Jaron, are quite my style. I just think it's very tightly written for what it is. Similar to how some people often talk about episodes of 30 Rock and other similar television shows where people will praise them for just being so tight and fast, right? They might not be the funniest shows of all time, but if you watch a show and you just very analytically go through how many jokes are there per minute, the number is pretty insane. And I didn't do this for Bill and Ted, but I got a very similar feeling where just something small that I could tell was supposed to be funny was happening so often that even if I wasn't laughing at all the jokes, I just got this joy from it, from absorbing all of these tiny little moments over and over again. And there's a lot of pretty good running jokes too. You like Socrates calling Freud a geek. I think Socrates is one of the best parts of this movie, just generally speaking. I don't know who that guy is. I meant to look it up. That actor, what a job he had to just not speak most of the entire movie because he only knows ancient Greek. It's so funny.
I'm
So
really
often,
glad they didn't make the historical figures speak English, because I was like, please don't do that.
Yeah,
except for Freud.
People
have,
travel back
like-
in time and they speak perfect English. I was like, oh, thank God.
Yeah, they
They're
have
still
like
just
Billy the
speaking their
Kid
languages.
and Abe Lincoln and
The people that
like
should be able
Sigmund
to speak
Freud
English
that speak
can,
English.
Yeah.
yeah.
But then like Beethoven is mostly silent. Joan of Arc is mostly silent.
Mumbling in French
There's
every now and again.
Genghis Khan only grunts and yells.
Which is funny because he should speak Mongolian.
He should speak Mongolian, but yeah.
Yeah, I like that too. I think that that's another great part of the absurdism. One of the things that really sells, there's just so much going on in this movie. Like, the point that I want to make truly is that nothing matters, and that's why it's great. Because all these historical figures just accept that they're time traveling so fast.
They're all so casual
And that they're
about
best
it.
friends with Bill and Ted. Like, even the ones that don't speak English. to
Even
the
like
point,
Napoleon and Genghis Khan.
Napoleon
that
is
are
the
like,
meanest jerk of them all, and they bring
Yeah.
him back first with Rufus's help, and they leave him in the future with their younger brother Deacon to just wander around. And we cut back to Napoleon multiple times throughout the movie, just like having a mediocre Saturday night in San Dimas, California, where he's bowling, and they show that he's a jerk even in the future. It's hilarious. He's cheating at bowling. He's fighting with
there's,
random
like,
people, cutting
when
in
Bill
line.
and Ted get back with their whole group, Napoleon's nowhere to be found, and they're like, Deacon, we told you to keep an eye on him. And he's like, he's a dick. I let him go.
Which is so valid, Deacon, honestly.
And he ends up at the Waterloo water slide park, which they allude to a couple times earlier in the movie.
Yeah.
I think that they like promise two guys in the bar like a gift card to the Waterloo water slides in San Dimas if they don't kill him. It's that payoff. I don't think any other time I've watched that movie I've gotten that payoff, but
And then
it's very funny.
Yeah, they are just really good at bringing jokes back. And then in the presentation at the end, when Napoleon is talking to them, he's suggesting that they use water slides on the battlefield because he fell in love with the idea of water slides at the Waterloo Water Park. It's so fun.
We should talk about that jailbreak scene because that has some of my favorite bits as well.
That's true, yes. I mean, the jailbreak scene, it all just comes back to nothing mattering. It might be my favorite use of time travel in all of fiction, which is really saying
I
something.
agree. It's
People
mine too.
People online will argue about what the best type of time travel is, like, different types of time paradoxes. There's literally like nerdy graphs made about the shape of the timeline that different types of time travel make. Like Doctor Who's TARDIS is literally like magic and it can go anywhere without messing up the timeline. This one's like this. The Bill and Ted one basically works like the Doctor Who TARDIS in that it's magic and nothing
I
matters.
assumed it was a reference to Doctor Who.
Exactly,
Being a
that's-
telephone
The
box.
phone booth. Yeah.
I assume it's some sort of reference in that way too, but they in this jailbreak scene, they just tell themselves in the present to remember in the future with the help of the phone booth to go back and make things easier for them. It's perfect. I
there's
laughed
like
at all three of the jokes.
There's like a running background storyline where Ted's dad can't find the keys to his to the police station. And we find out that it's because during this jailbreak sequence when they're like, "Oh, but we can't get in. We can't find your dad's keys." You can just go back in time to before your dad lost his keys, grab them and hide them under this bush. And we find out that that's why the keys were missing is because they were under that bush the whole time.
It's
But
really
then they're
great.
just like, that was awesome. Now I just have to remember to go back and get the keys. But if it happened, that means I did it.
Yeah.
That is
It's perfect.
my favorite time travel joke in anything. My favorite use of time travel is that specifically with the keys under the bush, where they're just
Yeah.
like, if we remember to move the keys, they'll be right here.
But what I love about it is they don't leave it there. They use the joke 2 more times. One time to tell themselves to remember to grab a tape recorder and stash it in the police station in order to distract their dad. And then, which is kind of normal and it goes well. And then a third time, they heighten it so much more because they're getting everybody out of jail through a window near the jail cells when Ted's dad finally realizes what's going on and goes to confront them. They're standing in this cramped space, and Ted is just like, I'm sorry, Dad. Ted, remember a garbage can. And out of the ceiling, impossibly, it doesn't even make any sense. A garbage can just falls upside down on Ted's dad's head.
I forgot.
I don't understand. I laughed so hard. I was like, how does
He
them
just starts whispering to himself, garbage kid, like a
Exactly.
mantra.
Garbage can. And then he just summons one from his
It
dad's
doesn't.
perspective.
Yeah, just because he remembers to do that doesn't mean that. Like, how did they rig that up? How does it just appear? It's so funny.
He's just like in the ceiling tiles, ready to push a garbage can down.
It's really incredible. I love the absurdist comedy of that. I love that all these historical figures are just becoming best friends. Like Abraham Lincoln is like calming down Genghis Khan and telling him to be quiet, and Socrates and Billy the Kid are besties because they were the first.
Yeah,
two
they're
to
like
be in.
hitting on girls in the food court at the shopping mall.
Very funny.
It's really funny.
Yeah, one of my favorite
Really
things
funny scene.
is as they add people, the telephone booth gets more and more crowded, which is really incredible, to the point where when they're traveling through time in it, they're riding on it like it's a minecart instead of all standing in it because there's not enough space. It's just commitment like that where they actually show you everybody shoved into the phone booth instead of taking the shortcuts.
Just showing like a phone booth where you can't see what's inside, and just like, everyone's in there, I promise.
Exactly.
I will say, even though this was not like my favorite movie of all time, I do miss movies like this.
Yeah,
Sort
it's
of
a-
nothing happens, and
So-
it's really nothing burger. But like everything has to be something now. It has to be like Oscar bait or this or that. Why can't we just be stupid again?
So
Yeah.
frequently when talking about this movie with my friends, I'm like, not to be totally boomer core, but they just can't make movies like this anymore. Because if you pitch this to a Hollywood executive and be like, yeah, my movie's about 2 dumbass high school boys time traveling to pass a history exam, they'd be like, what are you talking about? What franchise is this? It'd be like,
Yeah, what IP does this
Yeah.
pull?
it's like, no, it's just a silly, funny movie that
Yeah.
just evokes joy. And I miss that.
I miss when
And
movies
I-
didn't have to like be anything.
You're so right.
my confession as a Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure superfan is that I've never seen either of the sequels.
I fully support that.
I bought the full trilogy on Amazon for this because I was like, oh, this isn't streaming anymore, but I really like this movie, so I'd like to own it in some form. I really should just get a physical copy. So I have Bogus Journey and Face the Music that I will watch at some point. But there's a part of me that's worried because I've heard that those ones aren't as good, that I'm going to be like, is this going to make me think that Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure isn't this incredible, hilarious, silly movie? Because Face the Music kind of is like the franchise revival, which...
Yeah, they turned it around.
yeah, I'm not sure.
They did to themselves what no one can do anymore. But you're right, it's not boomer core, honestly, as a film major. Like, this is the type of thing we were already talking about back when I was in film school, and it's only gotten more true over the years. As much as it feels like it's always said online, it is kind of true that like Hollywood doesn't have any new ideas anymore, and everything that comes
Well,
out is like either
Can't make Bill and Ted
sad.
anymore
Here's my
because of
opinion.
woke.
Plenty of people have new ideas. Executives don't want to make those new ideas.
That's true.
'Cause I hate when people blame the creatives who will make these things
Yeah.
for like they're the ones greenlighting the films.
That's
It's
true.
like-
Yeah.
There are plenty of like big blowout films that are like writers with original ideas still. It's just they never do as well financially as, you know, animated movie sequel, new superhero movie, new remake, new adaptation.
Because, like, I can't remember the animator's name, but, like, the creator behind, like, the Powerpuff Girls and stuff like that was coming back for,
Is
like,
that Craig McCracken?
you know, yeah,
Or she's a
yeah. He's
writer?
coming back for a revival, and people are like, why don't you make anything new? He's like, I pitched 11 new shows in the
Yeah,
past, like,
I've
20
tried.
years. They didn't want them. They just want the same thing again because it makes money.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that really sucks. And
Because it makes us money and it sparks discussion online because people will argue endlessly about if it's good, if it's bad, how it holds up
guess
to
what-
the originals.
What annoys me with that stuff is people are always like, oh, we should stop supporting in this, and then they go watch it anyways. Like, they'll be like, oh, I don't want to support this financially, but I'm gonna go see it.
yeah,
like-
I very proudly have never watched. I didn't watch any of them in theaters, and I haven't even watched them on streaming. Any of the live action remakes of Disney.
I think the last one I watched was Beauty and the Beast, and I haven't seen any of them since.
Oh, I
I
did see that
watched-
one. I forgot. I was in high school.
I watched The Lion King,
I think we just like played it in a class when I was in high school.
but like, in fairness to me, I worked at the movie theater and I saw it for free, so I did not
Yes.
support it
Safe.
financially.
Very fair.
I also saw it for free because I didn't see it in the theater. So
Yeah, but it's not even. People are like, "Oh, I won't see it in the theaters, but I might watch it on streaming." I don't even want to show them that kind of support. I don't want to show them that I'm willing to watch it.
Don't do that either.
Yeah.
Guys, y'all need to put your little hats on and go yo ho yo ho. I'm
don't
sick
go
of this
see
shit.
don't go see live action Moana. If live action Moana is coming out soon by the time this episode airs, don't go see live action Moana. Just watch Moana.
Yeah, if you have, if
Just
you're
watch
like,
Moana or find it on a different website that's not Disney affiliated. Smile.
Mhm. You can DM
And then watch
me.
it and then don't talk about it online.
I'll teach you how it goes.
Honestly, all of my friends will be like, "Oh, I just signed up for a new streaming service," and I'm like, "Why? Please DM me. I will help you. Please
gotta
stop
DM
paying
you
for
after
this
this.
shit."
I have not signed up for a new streaming service in a long time, but I've also not had to put on my pirate cap in a long time also because I just mooch off my parents who do pay for them all.
Yeah, pretty much.
And there's not really a
Same.
world in which I teach my parents how to pirate stuff. So
My secret is like I use Plex, which is just like a hosting website. They don't actually have anything, so it's not illegal. And I have a friend who has a very large server full of a lot of things.
that they own copies of, right? That's how that works.
Yeah. They own the DVDs physically, and then they uploaded it, which is all perfectly legal and fine.
I have never pirated
Wow.
anything that I did not buy physically first.
Yeah, these are all just my rips of my
Yeah.
DVDs that
Actually,
I'm
let me-
watching on my computer.
I've never pirated anything. These are all jokes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't have
we would
anything
never
on me,
promote
FBI.
piracy.
For legal reasons,
That's
this
illegal.
podcast is satire, just like my favorite movie, Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. We are all caricatures.
Which I
who are not meant to
also
be taken
purchased off of
seriously.
Amazon. Haha.
Yeah.
I would not find it elsewhere.
Yeah.
That movie's got to be on DVD.
But, I also miss movies like this. Mid-budget movies. I looked it up. The budget for this movie was about $10 million, which is just an amount of money that would never get put towards a movie these days. It would always be way more than that, or way, way, way less for some reason. Like, I work on a lot of indie stuff in the industry, and the budgets for those aren't even like... They're like sometimes indie stuff has a budget of $100,000.
Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure on DVD for $5? What the hell am
Can
I
I-
doing buying this shit on Amazon? I have a DVD player.
Can I be honest? I think a lot of sci-fi TV shows got a lot worse when they got budgets. I think they
Yeah.
were better when they put little antennas on a dog and were like, yeah, that's an alien, whatever.
I think they were
Who gives a
better when
fuck anymore?
when the CGI looked terrible like it does in this movie.
I-
Those time
Oh, yeah.
travel sequences with the phone booth are so funny.
It's so charming.
It's
I'm
incredibly
such a
charming.
practical effects person.
There's some
I
great
can't
practical
stand
effects,
CGI.
though.
Terrible is a bad word. They look low budget, and by like modern standards, and I love that about it. I think it looks so great.
I think Hollywood has forgotten that we're okay with suspending our disbelief. I don't care if it looks realistic. I'm watching a movie. It's not real. I know that.
Yeah,
I'd rather have some like less CGI generally speaking, even if it has
Yeah,
to
for
look
sure.
worse, if it means that the actors that I'm watching aren't always standing alone in a green room. Because I think
Yeah.
it gets better performances when you have real sets with CGI
Definitely.
elements instead of green
I
rooms.
miss real sets. I miss when they would pay costume designers, but they won't because they're union, so they refuse to give them any time to actually make these things.
Yeah, I could rant a long time about the state of Hollywood, but I will
I think we
spare the
all
listeners. Yes, it's true. We all care about it in different ways.
Because we're all creatives, and
Mm-hmm.
so, like, we all care a lot about the people in the industry, even though I'm not, like, super actively a part of it, but, like, I am a writer and someone who knows how to make clothes and stuff, and I care about these people. And the
Yeah.
reason they use CGI is because it's cheap and they're not unionized, so...
It's so funny. Some people don't understand that it's cheap to do CGI because they're like, but the budget of this Marvel movie is so big and almost all of it went to CGI. I'm like, yeah, it's because there's just so much of it. There's so
the
much.
movie is
people need-
95% CGI.
These people need to actually watch the credits while they're waiting for their stupid after-credit scene and see how many people are doing the CGI work.
It's usually
Real.
very, very many, and depending on the movie, there's also a lot of like out of country VFX houses nowadays. You know, and they do good work,
Yeah.
but it's like
And also,
It's
like, they are
not a-
giving these
Hollywood's
people
not a
no
community
time
anymore.
to do it. They'll have them, like, a week before the premiere cramming to get this shit done. Like,
What-
it's sickening.
what's
Yeah, I
really,
remember during like the height of like MCU fatigue in Phase 4, how many stories there were about the VFX artist being like, yeah, this looks like shit because they gave me 2 hours to make it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. It's tragic that they can spend so much money. Or the biggest tragedy is like when a movie like this comes out and then it still looks bad and you're like, come on, like you gotta pick one. Pick hiring people to do things in person or putting the time and money in to make it look good. You can't have neither. What are you doing?
The problem is monopolies. We really need to do more monopoly busting in this fucking country. Disney should not
Yeah.
own as many properties as they do. They made all of them worse the second they owned them. And I will
Less
die on that hill.
monopolies. Less monopolies, more Scrabble. It's a better game.
Yeah,
And
more
I will
die
shoots,
on
that
more
hill.
ladders,
More water slides, even,
more water
you could
slides,
say.
like the
Yeah.
French.
But this movie is fantastic. You know, nothing happens, and I can respect that that might be less interesting to some people, but I think that the craft that goes into it on the writing side and the performance side is really what carries it for me.
I do think that the funniest parts of this movie are the setup and the payoff, and then the middle lull is just kind of a series of disconnected scenes. But they're all scenes that I still find incredibly funny. So that's why I still love every minute of this movie.
Yeah.
But definitely, like, I can imagine someone who isn't into just the conceit of the film wouldn't enjoy that kind of
I-
middle bit as much.
I just don't think I'm the target demographic for
Yeah.
this film. If I'm being honest, I don't think it's for me, and I don't think that's a bad thing.
Can I be
Again,
honest,
I didn't
Toasty?
dislike it. Yeah.
That doesn't surprise me.
Yeah. Like,
Knowing you and what you like, I was like, oh, I feel like we're gonna record this and Toasty's gonna be like, yeah, this movie sucks.
Again, I don't think it sucks. It's fine. Like,
Yeah.
which sometimes that opinion hurts more than me just outright disliking it, is that my opinion is kind of nothing.
I'm glad
Like,
that you
I
don't
just-
hate this movie because then I would feel like you hate me and don't think I'm funny.
No, because, like, it's not that I dislike silly, whimsical things. It's also just that, like, my favorite humor is, like, I don't know, so clever you almost missed the joke. And so, like, I just don't think this was super for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, this movie is the
I-
opposite of clever. This movie is just...
Yeah.
There's clever
'Cause, like,
bits
I-
in it, like the time travel stuff at the end, but for the most part, it is very dumb and absurd, and it just kind of wants to suck you into how dumb and absurd it is.
I don't even dislike dumb humor. It's just, like, I think an hour and a half of it was too much for me. Like, I think in other stuff it's fine, but I don't know. It was just... It could have been shorter.
It may make you
Well-
happy to know that there was... I don't actually know much about it. There was some form of animated series based on this movie. So maybe
true.
that would be more up your alley, because then you can watch 10 to 20-minute episodes of this instead of a 90-minute movie.
And it's hailed as one of the cleverest shows. I actually don't know if that's true. But
And
Toasty, how can you deny that they started the stepmom craze all the way back in the 90s?
There's no way
I-
this started the stepmom craze.
okay, my other favorite joke that I didn't fully laugh at, but I think I got a little huff from me, is when he said he had an edible complex.
Yeah.
Not an Oedipus complex.
Yeah.
Just
Very
all
funny.
the
Directly
times in this
to
movie
Freud.
where they pronounce things wrong, because they constantly pronounce the characters' names wrong. They say Socrates and Beethoven and Frood.
It's just funny coming from a guy who said egregious like 3 lines before for him to be like, yeah, he's got an edible complex.
The guys who are using the word unprecedented correctly don't know how to pronounce Beethoven.
Actually, hold on. Can I talk about a moment I really disliked?
Sure.
I disliked when his dad was fucid in his room. Didn't enjoy
Yeah,
that.
that's really rough.
That made me uncomfortable.
That is an uncomfortable scene.
I did feel a lot of empathy for Bill's character. That's a really tough home life, Bill. Your dad seems terrible.
I was just like, can you imagine getting horny in your son's room and then sending him away? That's weird, man.
I do appreciate that the stepmom being 3 years older than them was played as satire, though. At least I think so, because it would have been uncomfortable if it was played straight. Because there's like a joke that she makes herself that I think is very funny when they're talking about their history teacher and how he's mad at them and they need to pass this exam. And she says, "Mr. Ryan, tell him I say hi." it's just so funny.
I thought it was implied she slept with him. I could be wrong, but like I thought
I
that's what
do
was going
think
on
that
there.
that is implied because when
Okay.
she walks into the presentation, she like sits right next to him.
Yeah, she gives him like a little flirtatious look.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I must have missed that. I thought that they just implied.
He also looks surprised to see her, you know? That sort of like, ugh.
Yeah, my
Yeah.
underage situationship showing back up at my job. What's going on?
I think it's like the other part of satire that I think is very funny is that she's only 3 years older than them, and he keeps calling her by her name on accident and being like, "Sorry, mom," but still she's kind of a good mom. Like,
Yeah, she just is his mom, which is
like she
really
drives
funny.
them around when they ask. Like she has snacks and stuff for them in the
He
house.
burned the shit out of that grilled cheese, though.
That's true. That part's really that's a small little thing that nobody even mentions it, and it's very funny.
I don't think I even
Because
noticed that.
that's why the dad gives them money and sends them away. He's like, go get some actual food.
Well, I think he gives them money and sends them away so that he can have
Well,
sex in
yeah.
their room. But
That's,
But also the grilled cheese was burnt as shit.
it's just small. They say go get some food, and they go to the Circle K and wait for people. By the way, that part
God, I
directly.
forgot about the Circle K.
That part an exact tone for tone, beat for beat match for our warrior group in Midnight meeting Purdy, and Purdy being like, "I don't know, man, I just work here." That's the type of connections to Warrior Cats that I'm looking for, guys.
I'm still so series 1 brained because like listening to our reviews as we're releasing them, and I got the series 1 graphic novel adaptations on Libby. My holds finally came through. So I'm still so series 1 brained that I forgot that we have a whole different cast and situation that we just talked about.
I did not forget, and in movie review B-side fashion, I would like to propose a few
Oh my god, yes.
who would win.
Oh no. My favorite segment.
That's genuine disappointment you hear, folks.
I did
on
want
my
to say,
friends' faces.
I have great news about the Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventures, plural, which is the name of the animated series. The original Hanna-Barbera version features the original cast of the film in voice roles voicing the characters.
That's fantastic.
So Alex Winter as Bill S. Preston Esquire, Keanu Reeves as Ted Theodore Logan, and George Carlin as Rufus.
Also, wait, hold on. One more thing. At the end of the film, they, like, jam out with Rufus, right?
Mm-hmm.
I thought the bit was going to be that he was actually Van Halen, and since I don't recognize any celebrities, I had to, like, look it up. I was like, what the fuck does Van Halen look like, bro?
That's very funny.
That would have been a good bit, but anyways.
We can just assume
I
that they
think-
get to jam with Van Halen in the future. Being someone who hasn't seen Face the Music, maybe that's an
True,
actual
true.
thing. But
Or it doesn't matter because they become bigger than Van Halen. But I do
That's
love
true.
the bit that they bring these medieval princesses to the future to be part of the band. And then they build up Rufus as this great guitarist, and then it's like time for them to play. And they all do a terrible job because they're medieval princesses, of course. And Bill
And
and
also
Ted
Bill
don't
and
know
Ted
how to play
don't-
guitar.
Bill and Ted are like, at the beginning of the movie, they're like, we really got to learn how to play. And they're like, well, in order to learn how to play, we got to get good instruments. Well, in order to get good instruments, we got to make the band first. Well, in order to make the band, we got to learn how to play.
Yeah, they're trying to, and then they decide that that's actually the right decision, and that's fantastic.
Anyway, sorry,
I don't
we
want
can
to
move
take
into your segment
This
now.
is important. This is important to me mentally, even if you two don't have a lot of fun, because
No,
I have a lot of
I
fun.
I can't stop thinking about it. I think that there's something very important to me about how much I related this movie to Midnight, the book one of Warriors, the New Prophecy. It's friends going on an adventure to solve a problem. That's all you need. So, even though I think that this one's kind of obvious, I do want to start with Bill and Ted together versus Bramblepaw and Squirrelpaw. I think that they are the two closest in terms of our dummy leads. Bramblepaw's not really a dummy, but he is a little bit thick sometimes. He doesn't really know what's going on. Squirrelpaw, I think, is the closest character match to the personality of Ted and Bill. Unfortunately, I do think Bill and Ted get cleared.
Yeah, I think they lose kind of crazy.
Are we imagining Bill and Ted as cats, or are we imagining...
No, as humans.
No, as human people.
I see.
As human beings.
Then I agree.
Yeah, I think they lose. Here's the real
I'll
ones
be
that I
honest,
want to get into.
I think
I don't think
Squirrelpaw...
Bill and Ted could win against a mouse.
Squirrelpaw does the thing where she, like, purrs and looks up at them, and then Brambleclaw claws their eyes out.
Exactly. Yeah. They get real. Then they'll have a real Oedipal complex, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, classic literature jokes.
Something like that.
I got it.
I'm interested in our supporting cast of historical characters because this is going to be maybe the only time I have the chance to pit warrior cats against real historical figures. So I'd like to start off with my Billy the Kid versus Tawny Pelt, our two most rambunctious characters.
Billy the Kid has a gun.
And I knew that you would say that, so I prepared some talking
Counterpoint.
points, some counterpoints in this movie, which I'm gonna say has to be historically accurate because I don't think they would have not done their research. That'd be really irresponsible of them.
Bill and Ted wouldn't lie.
Billy the Kid is portrayed as being pretty willing to run, not fight, not very competent. More like luck is on his side. And Tawny Pelt is really scrappy and has a lot of fight in her. And I'm thinking that as long as Tawny Pelt can dodge 6 bullets from that 6-shooter, she might have a chance.
Can a cat dodge bullets?
So how many dodges do you think Tawny Pelt's getting?
So
in?
it's Tawny Pelt's bullet dodging speed versus Billy the Kid's ability to hit a small moving target with his gun.
Exactly.
I like how instead of being like, he doesn't have the gun.
We're just assuming
Your
that the
counterpoint.
cat can probably outmaneuver a firearm.
I don't want. Yeah, the gun's really a big part of his character, historically
okay, so
and
Billy
in the
the
movie.
Kid has a gun, and Tawny Pelt has the power of Star Clan. Who wins?
Tawny Pelt has the power of tasting salt in fresh water, and I think that gives her a really important edge in this fight.
Yeah, she'll take a drink. She'll be like, "This water tastes like lead," and she'll know I gotta dodge right before the first shot goes off. I do think Billy the Kid probably shoots her square between the
Billy
eyes.
the Kid can hit a cat
Yeah,
with his
come
gun.
on.
So there's one down. We got one historical figure living. Genghis Khan versus Crowfur are two most aggressive cats.
Genghis Khan.
Yeah, Genghis Khan.
Genghis Khan in this movie is shown to be a literal warrior,
Like an
a
Olympian
literal
athlete.
star warrior.
He can also skateboard, so...
He can skateboard without ever trying or learning. So I think
I
that there's
think
not much.
that cat leaps at him from a tree and he hits it with his club and it flies like 2 miles away.
Straight
Like a
off into the
baseball.
sunset.
Yeah. I think he team rockets that cat harder than anyone's ever been team rocketed.
No, I'm not hearing a ton of support for our friendly cast from
Yeah,
Midnight.
because they're cats
Because
against
they're
historical
cats.
figures who were known for killing.
Okay, we'll go a little bit more debatable now. Let's do Socrates versus Purdy.
Versus Purdy.
Birdie.
Yeah, I think that
I think-
personality-wise, they're a match.
I think they would both get too tired and have to lay down. I think it's a draw, personally.
It's a draw.
It's a draw. Do you think that Socrates could learn something from Purdy and vice versa.
Yeah, I think they'd be spouting philosophy.
Pretty good.
The cat from the American South and the ancient Greek
Yeah,
philosophy.
I think that Socrates would be saying all kinds of stuff, and Purdy would be like, "Well, I don't understand that two-leg language, but I like the tone of your voice."
He's just like,
Exactly.
"Meow, meow."
Joan of Arc versus Midnight.
Okay. Well,
Two
Okay, a
figures
person
with
versus
strong connections to religious
a person
religious
versus a badger is a
spirituality.
much closer match because I feel like if I saw a badger, I would be scared of it.
a woman with a sword versus like a kind of old badger.
She does leave her sword in the past in the movie, unlike Billy the
That's
Kid, who brings
true.
it into the future. And as we know, Warriors takes place in the modern day. I think. I'm actually
Warriors
not
takes
positive at all,
place
but
in the year 2083.
I'm gonna give this one to Midnight. I think because Midnight
since
knows
she doesn't
a
have
lot.
her sword, I will give it the
Yeah.
badger.
How big are
But-
badgers?
They're hold on.
Because I know they're very big in relation to cats, but cats are also very small.
I'm trying to think of like a dog that would be around the same size of a badger.
Explain this to me like it's a dog.
I think a badger's like the
yeah.
size of a corgi.
How big
I think like maybe a little bigger than
is
a
a
corgi,
badger?
but
Explain this to me like I'm a dog. Ruff, 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 ruff.
Okay, they're not that big, but they got scary sharp claws and probably diseases. So,
well,
and Joan
we
of
all have
Arc
diseases.
is from a long time ago, and her immune system
I have
not up
diseases.
to snuff.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Actually, all the historical figures would get here and die immediately because
Yeah,
they're not
most of
used to
them.
whatever we've got
Joan of
going
Arc
on.
gets COVID and dies.
Most of them are catching the common cold and dying.
Yeah.
I really
Oh my
want to
gosh,
do a
that's like
few
my
more.
favorite Futurama episode.
Freud versus Firestar. I'm just thinking about two people who are doing a lot of sitting and brooding these days.
I mean, Firestar clears. Like that's not even a question. Yeah, he
That's true,
broods, but he also kicks ass.
Don't you think that Freud could get him to pause for a second while he analyzes his relationship with his daughters and what's going wrong?
Freud can't understand cat, as far as I'm aware. So
Well, he speaks English even though he's from 1901 Austria.
Well, he's
That
also
might
from
be-
like
that might be-
Enlightenment times. So
That's true. He might know
he's
English.
an
I did
educated
think
man
about
who
that.
probably speaks many languages. There wasn't a lot to do back then. You could learn a lot of
I don't
languages.
think he ever sat down and tried to learn cat.
There wasn't, silly movies to spend all your time watching.
I think he's too busy thinking about fucking his mom. I don't.
It's true. Firestar's never had to deal with thinking about
I've just
fucking
never
his
had
mom.
to think about his
Yeah.
mom.
I just swore. I'm doing a thing with my friends, No Swear December, so I had to
Oh.
report that to my friends now. It's the first time I did it this entire episode.
We're bad influences.
I was too happy to talk about Oedipal complexes. I just had to say it. Back to no swearing for me. Okay, last one then, just because I think this one's really fun. I just really enjoyed the idea of this. Abraham Lincoln versus Stormfur.
I don't know enough about either of these characters.
You don't know enough about Abraham Lincoln? What did history class teach you?
Not accurate information about Abraham Lincoln, I'll tell you that.
Tallest man to ever live, if you count the hat.
Nobody looks like him
Weirdly-
anymore.
Weirdly, this also feels like a draw. Like I don't know. They have like similar vibes. I don't know if they'd want to hurt each other.
I did just try and pair them up as vibes based.
Yeah,
You did a good job. Who's Feathertail? Who's Feathertail paired? with?
Feathertail and Beethoven. Feathertail's, in my
Oh.
mind, the artsy one. Feathertail and
I
Beethoven
can see
definitely would
that.
not fight each other. So that's why I didn't even bring it up. But that was my pairing. I just
Feathertail
enjoy.
would just be like laying on the piano.
I just know that Abraham Lincoln, as much as he's depicted as like a man of the word, does know how to get down and tussle.
Yeah,
if
he
need
wrestled,
be.
didn't he?
Yeah. He hunted vampires also, if I'm to believe the one movie I saw.
Oh, I completely forgot about
I forgot about the vampires.
the vampire unit in history.
And I
It's
also
like the
know
worst thing you could forget about.
Stormfur is noble and will protect the cats if he needs to be. I think they also would not fight, but it might take a second. They might have to have a little bit of a drawn out war where they're leading battles and then they come to a peaceful treaty because they realize neither of them can win.
I feel like Stormfur's main thing is protecting their siblings, so I feel like if Abraham Lincoln isn't trying to kick Feathertail, like they're fine.
And Abraham Lincoln's main thing is protecting the North from the
So as long as
traitorous South.
Stormfur isn't transported to America and
As
trying
long
to
as
attack
Storm-
the North.
Yeah, do we think Stormfur would be a Confederate? I think not, so I think it's probably fine.
Jesus.
I don't.
I like to
Which
think
of
none
these
of our
warrior
cats.
cats are a Confederate? Let's discuss.
Well, they do
Broken
know
Star.
they do care a lot about clan rights, so which is what the
Ooh.
war was about. It was about clan rights.
Clan rights
Oh,
to what?
no.
Actually, when you apply it to real life, clan rights actually takes on a whole new meaning that I don't like. So
Clan's rights to apprenticing kits early.
exactly.
That's what the first.
Thank you
book
for
was all
indulging
about.
me in that. I think it's important to consume every bit of media I ever consume for the rest of my life with warrior cats in mind and which ones would be stronger. So thank you for not abandoning me in
Now,
that quest.
here's my question for all of you. Imagine we are like 10 generations of warriors in the future.
Give me a second.
We got like.
1, 2, 3. I can only
Are
get
you
8.
counting 40 generations?
I can only get 8.
You don't have to count. Just imagine we're very far in the future.
Okay, gotcha.
We've got like Crankpaw and Spoolpaw because the warriors have entered the Industrial Revolution and they have tools now.
I thought you meant because they were cybernetic and
No,
they had enhancements.
They're Crank and a Spool. Crankpaw and Spoolpaw have to pass an apprenticeship test. And in order to do so, they need to go back in time. What cats are they collecting to come and talk about the current state of ThunderClan?
I mean,
Christ.
obviously Firestar, like...
Firestar, yes, like the war hero.
Yes.
That makes sense.
Firestar is like the Napoleon of that version of this movie where they bring him back first and then Firestar walks around the entire time being a little bit of a jerk because he's old and cranky.
Just confused.
Yeah. I think that they expand out a little bit. They grab Barley. They need some different perspectives. They need a loner.
Do you think they get Scourge? But like maybe before
I
he
don't
went
think
completely
they get
haywire?
Scourge because Bill and Ted didn't get like Mussolini. So like,
Yeah.
That'd be a
that's
very
true.
different movie.
Bill and Ted got Genghis Khan, but people kind of think about the evils that Genghis Khan did in a different way because it was just so long ago. I don't know if that's sometimes history is weird, but like it was so long ago that kind of everybody was evil back then, so it's too much to even think about.
Yeah, I think that they get Midnight for one of those like diverse perspectives. Like
Yep.
back in ancient ThunderClan, we had badgers who could talk.
Yeah, they all died
like-
out because of cat racism since then, but
This is hard because we're only really exploring like one gen at the moment, or
That
like
is
kind
true.
of two.
Yeah, but
well,
like,
I'm
like,
thinking
we
they go
don't-
back and they get a lion, the original cat. that
Yeah,
spawned
I'm like, do they get like a
Firestar.
tiger?
they get
yeah.
they get Thunderstar, the original leader of ThunderClan.
They probably get a kitty pet.
They were incredible at basketball.
Maybe they get Smudge. A kitty pet, not even a kitty pet that knows about the clans, like Princess, just Smudge. And they're like,
Just
and Smudge is like, I want my bed. What's going on?
Where's my dry food?
Where's my still water?
Where are my
Yeah.
where are
Who
my
are
dusty ass
you?
pellets? I'm scared.
And they probably, I'd say last. Well, they need somebody to replace the Joan of Arc. They need a medicine cat who was really strong with the religious aspect.
Probably
Maybe a spotted leaf, but
spotted
that's a little
leaf.
basic.
Maybe like a future leaf paw.
Yeah. They've also got the mental magic of twin tuition. So that's a double get. They can really do a lot of good in this apprentice test. Talking about that.
Can you imagine if like Squirrel Paw's off on this journey and like Leaf Paw gets abducted by future cats in a time machine, and Squirrel Paw's just like, I'm seeing visions of gears and machinery. What is this?
Squirrelpaw has an existential crisis, not understanding what metal is and why they know how to move it around.
Yeah.
Maybe they grab a 2-leg, just for fun.
They also
How
get
would
Socrates.
they do that?
Yeah, they get
They
Socrates.
also get, of course, yeah.
Socrates would be chill with the cats. I think
Socrates
like, a
would
lot
hang
of
out
2-legs
with
would be
the cat.
dangerous.
If Socrates would hang out with Bill and Ted and Billy the Kid, he would hang out with a bunch of cats.
Yeah. And then my question becomes, if it's not some sort of history report, what are these cats that they're grabbing actually doing to help them pass the apprentice training?
They have to say what the cats of old ThunderClan would think of the ThunderClan of today.
Oh, I see. So it's I missed that part. I'll cut that out.
No.
I'll cut out me being confused.
I'll cut out me misunderstanding.
No. That's not allowed.
Yeah, you might
Have I
forget that
ever-
we had this
have I ever
discussion
asked
when
you
the
to
episode
cut-
comes out.
Have I ever asked you to cut me out when I'm being stupid? No. You leave that shit
Well,
in.
you don't. You're never confused.
That's not. That
I think
simply
we're all
can't-
confused all of the
That
time.
simply cannot be true.
Which one of us is Bill? Which one of us is Ted? Which one of us is Rufus? I think Toasty's Rufus.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
I think Toasty's Rufus. I think I'm Bill.
I'm so honored to be Ted. I'd love to be Ted.
The thing is, Bill
thing-
and Ted are so similar. How do I
true.
differentiate which one I would be? It's just based
I would
purely
say
on
that
vibe.
they characterize Ted as a little more airheaded, and Bill as a little bit more
Grounded.
grounded and sulky.
Actually,
you know-
I'm the stepmom and I'm burning the shit out of your grilled cheese.
No, my
I
grilled
would eat it up.
cheese! Please
I'd eat
don't
it
fuck
up.
my dad.
I'm A, going to fuck your dad, and B, burn the shit out of this grilled cheese.
And I'm the one who's like,
That's a
you're
promise.
pretty cute actually. And then Jaron says, "Shut up."
I love the bit when they're like, dude, I keep forgetting she's your stepmom. Shut up, Ted. Remember when you asked her to the prom? Shut up, Ted.
Yeah, it's very good.
And now you can't
so-
cut that out because it segued into a really good bit. Good work, team.
I've been fooled.
You've been tricked.
So what do we think about this movie overall, huh?
I love this movie.
It's fine.
How many
How much fresh kill from the fresh kill pile are you giving this movie? I am giving it all of the fresh kill from the fresh kill pile.
makes sense? It's your favorite.
I'm giving it the biggest rabbit and the tastiest looking shrew and even the snake that one of the apprentices brought back. Because, you know,
I
we
will
don't all
give
get to try snake, but I think this movie deserves to try snake.
I will give it a chaffinch and a mouse.
I'm gonna bring it whatever's freshest. Just like 2 or 3 of the freshest things, I think. You know, I don't want to be picky, but it deserves to eat well.
This is an idea for a new gag website called Rotten Fresh Kill, where people can review movies from the perspective of a warrior cat, and they can decide
Gag
if they're giving
website?
them the freshest kill or the rottenest kill.
This is very serious.
I really enjoy the idea that this podcast is actually set in the Warriors universe, and we are just warrior cats who are reviewing Bill and Ted's Excellent
We are the
Adventure.
cats at the Moonstone, getting high and watching Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure.
As is meant to be. We found some 2-legs projector and we set it up in the mother mouth cave. Well, I had a great time watching this movie. I'm really excited to see what Toasty's favorite movie is.
Me too.
We don't get to know until the movie review comes about because outside of this podcast, we are not friends.
Yeah.
Nope.
We do not talk.
I'm definitely not going to ask Toasty after this recording what his favorite movie is.
Me too. Yeah, so thank you very much, Jaron, for suggesting this film. I had a blast.
Thank you guys
and
for watching.
I can't wait to force my friends to watch it with me.
I enjoy watching new movies.
And Toasty, thank you for being honest about your opinion, even though you thought it might
Well,
upset me.
Yeah.
I was honest too.
Well, yeah, but
Well,
you
I
had
get
the
praise.
easier job because you also like this dumbass movie.
I always feel bad when I don't like or love a movie because there are very few movies I like wholeheartedly dislike. So
I'm the
feeling
same
very
way.
net neutrally about a movie was kind of new to me.
Yeah.
Actually, we should do a segment about movies that I fucking hate because there's like 2.
I think the only movies that I've ever watched that I'm like, this is absolute garbage are like Phase 4 MCU movies.
There's some pretty bad
And I have
ones.
not seen those, so
Ugh. Ant-Man Quantumania. That movie sure
I stopped
does
watching
exist.
after Endgame.
Yeah, me too. Well, next time we're watching Toasty's favorite movie, Ant-Man Quantumania.
Let's go! I love that movie.
For now, we're all going to continue to read Warrior Cats, watch our movies, and think about which cats would beat what human beings as God intended us to.
Hopefully,
least
in
I
the
am.
next movie, we'll have some fictional characters who stack up a little bit easier against a group of cats.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
You can puzzle out what uh-oh means yourself.
Toasty's
listener.
favorite movie is Dragon Ball Z movie 15, Resurrection F.
My favorite movie is Fast and Furious, and all the people have cars.
Oh, the cats are staying away from those. Those are monsters. That's scary.
Yeah, that's a really tough matchup. Thank you all for listening. Anybody got anything to plug?
Well, I'd like to plug this podcast. If you're enjoying this podcast, thank you. If you're listening, to all of our listeners, you guys are awesome. Please feel free to leave us comments on YouTube, Spotify, likes, ratings, subscribes, follows. If you want to follow us on social media, we're on TikTok, Blue Sky, and Instagram at WarriorsPod, spelled PAWD. And if you want to reach out to us in an email, if you got thoughts about Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure, please email me. Please email me. Our email is warriorspod, PAWD, @gmail.com. Email us about anything. Just we're happy to hear from you guys.
I'll go next. You can find me on most socials at Itty Bitty Toasty. And if you can't find me on there, then I'm just straight up not on it. If you have any questions for us hosts, either questions about Warriors or questions about us personally, if you could please email them. I'd love to eventually do an episode where we just answer those. So please do not be scared. We are not going to beat you to death with hammers if you send us an email. Please do it.
Not at all.
That's all. Thank you.
In fact, we will welcome you with hammer.
Actually, I favorite every nice email and I reread them on a regular basis because they make me happy.
So
Very
true.
nice. I don't do a lot, but you should check out live comedy in LA. If you go to enough of it, you might see me there. I'm tall. I have a mustache. And if you just every time you go to a comedy show, if you shout Mitchell and I turn my head, you'll know.
That it's
good way to
me or
find
some
me.
other guy named Mitchell.
I don't think those exist.
If you want to follow me on Twitch, I'm on twitch.tv/Jaron D Ratman. I haven't streamed much because of being busy,
Amen.
but I'm gonna try.
Amen on being busy.
Hopefully, we have a great time. So follow me there, catch me live. It's a great time. And if you like this podcast, make sure to go check out our other podcast where we go back in time and introduce historical figures to warriors to see how many of them we can make into furries.
So far, the ramifications for the timeline have been
Disastrous.
disastrous. All right, until next moon,
Until next moon.
Thank you. Until next moon, be excellent to each other.
and party on, cats.
Party on, cats!